So Durham University, to give you a bit of an overview. So I'm going to talk a little bit about where Durham is, some key facts, some courses you might be interested in, the collegiate system, which makes Durham a bit different, a little bit about the support, admissions, and fees and finances. So hopefully throughout the session, you'll learn a lot about Durham. But as I said, any questions, just let me know. So this is beautiful Durham here, as you can see, a nice aerial view. So Durham is absolutely beautiful. It's a green UNESCO World Heritage City. So a UNESCO site in the UK is a protected, beautiful land, really. So it's somewhere that is known for nature, is known for beauty, and many people will come and visit it to see what it's like. So very different from Bangkok in terms of it's quite quiet and peaceful. There's still quite a lot going on in terms of student life. We have many Thai students, but it's absolutely beautiful place to be, very historical. As you can see in the middle of the photo there, you've got Durham Cathedral, which is, as I said, it's absolutely beautiful. It's something we're very well known for. You've got Durham Church, which is actually one of our college accommodation over on the corner there, and then surrounded by beautiful greenery. So if you like walking, if you like fresh air, if you like history, then Durham is absolutely perfect place to be. So here on the photo, you've got one of our bridges and a beautiful river. So it really is a lovely kind of old English experience that you get at Durham. So just to tell you a little bit about where Durham's situated. So you might have been to the UK. If you have, then I'm guessing you've probably been to London, but probably not likely to have been to Durham. And that's purely because it's known for the university. It's relatively small, it's compact. The best thing about Durham, I think, is that it is slightly smaller. So you can walk around, you can walk through the cobbled streets, around the beautiful cafes, restaurants. Everywhere you go, there's students. So Durham is known for being a student community. So you can see people everywhere, you can make friends very easily. It's just a really easy kind of place to live and navigate. So we're located up in the northeast of England. So where you can see that purple dot there, that's Durham. As I said, it's a slightly smaller city, so we don't have our own airport, but we're next to Newcastle upon Tyne, which is a bigger city. Newcastle has an airport, so students will fly into Newcastle and will come and collect you and bring you down to Durham. Students might also go to Newcastle if they want some of the bigger shops or bigger restaurants, so it's really easy to have there, and it's only 10 minutes on the train. Durham is on the fast train line, so you can go all the way down to London in 2 hours 45, and you can go up to Edinburgh in about an hour and a half as well. So you don't have to stop and swap loads of trains to get to London. It's just a direct route, so it's really easy. So we're very lucky to have our own train station and lots of areas that you can visit around the UK. As I said, it's very green, it's very safe, it's very friendly. People in the northeast are so friendly. I'm from London myself, but I've lived in the northeast for about 10 years now, and the people are just so welcoming. They love meeting people from all over the world, and they will kind of help you settle in. So we're really lucky. As I said, we've got the beautiful city, which is a World Heritage Site, but we also have countryside, beaches, lots of things to do at the weekend. You can go to the coast, you can go to all of the cafes, restaurants. You'll never be bored for something to do in Durham. So you'll have the most fantastic year if you come to study with us. Oh, sorry. Just a little bit more about the university. It's one of the oldest universities in England. It was founded in 1832. So it's the third oldest university in England after Oxford and Cambridge. So full of history. As you can see, that's a beautiful part of Cambridge in the background. Cambridge, sorry, wrong university. Beautiful part of Durham in the background. And you've got lots of students in their gowns there going for their matriculation ceremony. We have 21,000 students, so we're a medium-sized university. We've kept it to that size because we want everyone to have a college, we want everyone to have their own tutor and to feel really settled. So it's a medium size, which we really like to keep that way so that you have lots of attention and can meet people very easily. We're 30% international, so lots of students from outside of the UK, and we have a really large Thai community. On average, every year we get about 150 or so Thai students, and they're throughout the university. Many of our postgraduate Thai students are studying business and law, but we do have students in other departments too. We have a very active Thai society. They're always putting events on. I would follow them on Facebook and you can see what kind of events they do, but they are amazing and they're so welcoming to all of our Thai students. We also have 17 different colleges, and I'll talk a moment about what that means. So here in the background, you've got University College. I love this photo because it captures it beautifully. University College was our first ever college, founded in 1832. So at one time at Durham, all of our students would live in here all together. But obviously, since 1832, we've got a lot bigger. So we have 17 colleges. Here on the map, you can kind of see what Durham looks like. In the middle, so 7 and 8 on the map, you've got the beautiful cathedral and the castle there, and you can see just below that you've got the shops in Durham, and then all around the city centre you've got parts of the university. So it depends where you'll be studying, but you've got the law school, you've got the business school, and as you can see, everything's quite close together. So as I said, that's a real benefit of Durham, that you can walk around, you can meet people really quickly. It's not like the really big cities where you might have a friend 1 hour across the city from you. In Durham, everybody is so accessible, you can walk everywhere. It's absolutely fantastic and it's so beautiful, as you can see in the photos. Just some fun facts. Durham Cathedral was part of Harry Potter filming. So as you can see on the photos, the parts of the Philosopher's Stone, the Chamber of Secrets are actually set in Durham Cathedral. So many of our students will go around the cathedral, take photos there. Academic reputation is something we're really proud of at Durham. It's something that we excel within. We're a member of the Russell Group. So the Russell Group University is one of 24 universities that are known in the UK for research. They get a lot of the funding, and they're normally, not always, but known for being the highest ranked universities in the UK. So we're really proud to be a member of the Russell Group. We're also a top 4 UK university in The Guardian. So again, really proud of that. And we're also 82nd in the world in the QS rankings. So it's a top UK university and a top world university as well. We're also very well known for employer reputation. So many of our students will go off and get very good jobs, especially back in Thailand, where we have a really good reputation and our students have gone on to do amazing things. The law school and the business school, I would say, would be our standout points for students in Thailand. And we've got a great reputation across Thailand for our law and business programmes. So here's just a screenshot here of our faculties. So we have 4 different faculties. We've got the University Business School, Arts and Humanities, Sciences, Social Sciences and Health. So some standout degrees here would probably be for students here in the business school and the law school, but we also offer really strong programs in things like psychology, engineering, international relations and politics, both very popular at Durham, and a range of different studies there. So just an idea. I've actually captured our most popular subjects for Thai students on this page here. So many of you will be here because you're interested in law school, which comes as no surprise because over 35% of our students on the law programme are from Thailand, which is fantastic. The requirements vary depending on what university you come from. If you're from a top university in Thailand, the minimum GPA would be 3.0. And for direct entry for IELTS, we'll be looking at a 7, with a 7 in writing and nothing below a 6.5. So that's for direct entry. We have 5 different streams. We have the general LLM, the European Trade, Commercial Law, International Trade and Commercial Law, Corporate Law, International Law and Governance. And for many of you, I think you'll be looking at the approved programmes in Thailand, so the General LLM and the International Trade and Commercial Law, which are both very popular. All of these programmes are 1 year long. They all the LLMs start with a research module. They all end in a dissertation, and then there's many optional modules you can take along the way. The majority of the LLM is assignment assessed, so essay assessed rather than exam based, and it's absolutely fantastic. All of our LLMs are brilliant, and I can tell you more about them if you have questions. In the business school, the GPA, again, for top universities, be a minimum of 3.0. It might be a bit higher depending on what university you went to. IELTS really varies by programme. Our MBA is the most demanding in terms of English language. So if you've got specific questions about which IELTS for which programme, please just let me know. I've put IELTS, but we accept a range of English testing, Pre-Sessionals. We've also can take TOEFL. We have our own password test. So there's a few things there that you can do to meet the requirements. Our probably most popular programmes in the business school are the MBA, of course, accounting, economics, finance, marketing is very popular in Thailand, management. I've just listed these, but there's lots of programs within these areas. So we've got, entrepreneurship, we've got investment banking, lots of different programs within these areas. But these are where we attract most of our Thai students into the university. We have some pre-sessional options for those that are interested in pre-sessional programs. We have a 20-week, a 10-week, a 5-week, and they're really for students that maybe need some extra English support, or that you might not quite have met direct entry, which does happen, and it's not a problem, but there are some pre-sessional requirements. Hopefully these pre-sessionals will be back on campus next year. They have been online, but we're hoping that they'll be moving back to campus. So just a little overview about the collegiate system I mentioned. It's very specific to Durham, so it requires a bit of explanation. There's only a few collegiate universities in the UK, and it's what makes Durham so special. So we have 17 different colleges, as you can see by the top corner. They're all different in terms of their kind of motto, their personality. The most popular for Thai students is Ustanov, because it's postgraduate only. You can live in college. Many of our Thai students don't live in college, but they'll still belong to a college. So they might live in private, but they might use Ustanov or another college in order to have a social life and make the most of those opportunities. I've put a map about our colleges on here so you can see which is which. On the map on the right, as you can see, 17 different colleges, so different in terms of age, catering, non-catered, the gown formal dinners. So students will come down for dinner in their gowns, or they'll have formal balls, sports games. There's so much going on, and you can put down you can apply for a college if you're postgraduate. If you're undergraduate, you're guaranteed college accommodation. If you're postgraduate, you're not guaranteed, but you can apply. So there's tons going on. And as I said, even if you don't live in college accommodation, you can still get involved. You can go to the gowned formal dinners. You can still do all of the activities that come with the college as well. So as I said, the college is an accommodation. It is a site that you can live in, but if you don't want to, it's still an amazing community. It's very interdisciplinary. So we have students from every course into each college. So we have law students, business students, music students, history students. So we make sure that it's a mix of students and a mix of nationalities. So you'll be living, or even if you're not living, you'll be your college family will be people from all over the world, all different courses. So we're really widening your network. There's some really fantastic facilities for studying, socialising, sports, art. So places like St John's has got its own library. So if you know that you want to study a lot, then that might be a good one to choose. But then there's also other colleges in terms of Collingwood is very sporty, so there's an amazing gym, so lots of different facilities that you can access, and every college has got its own bar, so if you want to go for a drink you can go to the college bars, or you can go to your friend's college. You don't have to just stay in your own college to socialise. Some of the colleges are catered, so if you might want your food being made for you, then college can be a good option. And there's also a lot of support. Every student will get their own college mentor. So this is someone that you can turn to if there's anything you want to talk about. It might be that you're maybe missing home, and there'll be somebody in the college that can help you, make you feel better, maybe introduce you to other students and kind of reassure you as well. So it's really good in terms of support. There's lots of leadership opportunities, so there's college jobs, there's international roles, some of them are paid jobs as well, so look good on your CV and you can earn some extra cash. And as I said, lots of different extracurricular options, sports, clubs, outreach, the society I mentioned before, the Thai Society, super popular. They're always doing things, they're doing their own events, their own kind of cooking classes, or they might do quizzes, so lots to do. You'll never be bored, and there's some amazing events, as I mentioned, balls, concerts, fundraisers, so it's really just an added layer of support on top of the university. So you're studying the university, but this college life will be everything you do outside of college, and it will be such a good experience for you, and it's what makes Durham special, really. It makes Durham different to have this college life. So just some photos of college accommodation so you can see how different it is, but just something to be aware of. As I said, even if you don't live in college, it's a huge part of the life and something you can get involved with. We've got lots of class and societies, Thai Society, but also academic societies. You can set up your own society, so if there's not one that you like, then you can set it up. So you could do like a bubble tea society, all sorts of things. We're also a very sporty university. We've been #1 in team sports since 2013. So if you want to, play football or rugby or rowing, then you can do that. You can do that either competitively or you can do it for fun. So you might just want to do a bit of table tennis or a bit of ping pong with your friends and just come and use the gym. That's fine too. But there's such a huge range of clubs, so lots of fun ones: frisbee, cheerleading, chocolate appreciation, pudding club. So there's something on all the time. So you can get involved with as little or as much as you want. It's purely just there for your own fun, your own time. Also lots of arts, music performance, so orchestras, choirs, dance, lots going on. So tons of opportunities. There's lots of student support, which is very important to us, that all of our students feel supported. We make sure that you have the college mentor that I mentioned, and also an academic tutor, so someone in your department that you can talk to. It might be that you have fallen behind on your assignment, or you need extra English support, and Durham's so good for making sure that you're well supported and that you're very well looked after. So careers guidance, as I said, we're very all about employability. I mentioned that before. We need to make sure that all of our students are getting the best jobs they can, that they're well prepared. We have a really good careers team in the business school, the law school, across all our departments, and they'll do things with you throughout the year. They'll bring guest speakers in to talk to you. They'll do CV writing with you. They can do mock interviews. So if you've got a graduate interview coming up, then they can ask you questions, help you write applications. So they're absolutely amazing, the careers guidance. So not only are we making sure that you're focusing on your master's or your degree, we're also making sure that you're focusing on what you want to do later and how can we prepare you for that. We've got fantastic healthcare and GP services around the university and the wider community. So as part of your visa, you would pay an IHS charge, which is an international health surcharge. Once you've paid this, you have access to all of the NHS facilities. So you can, during COVID, if you needed treatment, then you get that without an extra cost. You also would get the vaccine for COVID if you hadn't already had it. So the NHS in the UK is amazing. It means that you don't have to pay anything extra. You can get any kind of healthcare, you can get dental care, and we help you. So you need to sign up to a GP, which is a doctor, a general practitioner, but we will help you in induction week to guide you to where to go to register. And we also have disability services, immigration team, which is great. So if you're having need advice on a visa or anything like that, or if you've found a job but you don't know what to do with the work visa, the immigration team are there to help, and they're fantastic. We also have counselling, which again, so much support. So during the last year, many of our students have really had to adapt to change with COVID, etc. And our counselling team have been so good being there as someone to talk to. We have student finance. So if you need to talk to someone about, you might need emergency cash for something, then there is support there as well. We have a fantastic International Welcome Week, which is organised by colleges. So they'll make sure that you can come early to campus if you wish to, and the welcome service will make sure that you're all settled in. They'll take your things, help you unpack them in your room, show you where to buy things. So you don't need to bring lots of things to the UK. We have lots of shops. The colleges will tell you where you can buy bedding or towels, etc. So a really good welcome service by the colleges. They'll also help you set up a bank account. They'll help you register with the police, lots of positive things there. As I mentioned, we have Intersessional English language. So you may have, passed all the English requirements, you're at the university and you're writing an essay, but you may be struggling a little bit with certain words, or finding it hard to maybe reference or anything like that, and the Intersessional English language can give you some added support outside of classes to make you more confident with your English. There's also the international office, that's where I am, and we're here as well if you need any help. So Durham, again, I think the best things about Durham, which stands us out, is the collegiate community and the support. There's so much support for you. I know sometimes it might be daunting to think about travelling to England for a year, especially if you've never lived anywhere else, but we make it as easy and as supportive as we can. Hello, hi.
Hi, I am interested in entrepreneurship program. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, of course. I'd love to. Sorry, 2 seconds. Let me just collapse my screen. Yeah, have you got any specific requirements, or should I just give you a general overview about the program?
Just the general is fine.
Okay, great. So we have a few different management programs. They're all Msc Management, so they're all 1 year. There is a general management program, which is the biggest program that we offer in the management series. And then there's the more specific focused pathways. So entrepreneurship is much smaller than the larger management program. And there'll be many modules that cross through all of the management programs. So you'll be studying modules that lots of other students will be in the other areas. However, there'll be more specified modules in the entrepreneurship program. So there's a mix between core modules and optional modules. So every student will have to opt for core modules, and there'll be modules such as entrepreneurship process, new venture creation, organizational behavior, strategy as well. And then you either choose between a module in strategic marketing management or business economics and accounting. So they're core modules that you do throughout the year. And then you also choose 3 elective modules. So you have your choice from a list. They change year on year, but they can be between modules such as consulting or global marketing, technology management. So all of our kind of management programs, no matter which one you do, are going to be a mix of core modules and then more optional modules. So you do have the chance to shape it a little bit as you go. In the 3rd term, through any of our business masters programs, you'll do a dissertation, so a research project, and this will be a work that you do either by yourself or in a group, and it's normally a project with a external business or organisation. So what we're doing in that third semester is you're putting everything you've done theory-wise and you're applying it into practice as well. And then you would come back at the end of the year and show us your ideas through a presentation. So there's a lot going on in that year, but we also do additional experiences to make it the best year possible. So it's quite intense, but you'll get lots out of it. So there's opportunities within that year to do an international study tour. We also get guest speakers onto campus and practitioner insights. So these are people that have maybe are consultants for certain companies, and they'll show you what projects they're working on. And we've got a range of different providers that will do the practitioner insights. We work with PwC, Deloitte, IBM, so tons going on in that. And then we also have different competitions and different projects such as Dragon's Den competition, also Blueprint as well. So these are kind of different competitions where we're looking for new businesses and ideas, and you'll compete to win kind of a Dragon Den competition or pitch an investment. So all of the business masters are kind of intense in terms of you've got so many different experiences. So there's lots of similarities between them all in terms of some of the modules, but there's certain specific modules that you'll only do. So in entrepreneurship, you could do, you know, kind of the global marketing or the organizational fitness modules that you might not be able to do in some of the other streams.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, if you've got specific questions about that one, please feel free to email me, and I will can also pass on your details to the business school. In terms of requirements, all of the Msc Management Programmes are the same. I mentioned kind of a minimum of 3.0 GPA, maybe a bit higher depending on what university you studied in. You don't need experience for any of the management programmes. We're only looking for work experience for the MBA. So if you're coming straight from university and looking at a management programme or any programme in our business school, that's normally fine. Work experience isn't mandatory outside of the MBA.
All right, actually, we saw a lot of people in this session, so I think it might be nice to maybe do some sound check that what are the programs that you guys are looking for. I just want to know, like, you know, what are the courses at Durham that you guys are interested in. ขอแชทเข้ามาให้หน่อยได้ไหมคะในแชทก็ได้ค่ะว่าจริงๆแล้วดูหลักสูตรอะไรมาเอ่ย That's actually a question that if the student GPA is slightly lower than 3.0, would that be possible to apply?
It really depends on on what you're looking to study and what else you have. Sometimes if you're just slightly low, but if you've got work experience, then we can consider that. If you're coming straight from university and you haven't quite got it, then sometimes it's not going to be possible to get an offer. If you're a borderline student, you can email me to check, because there is a charge for the business school. So I don't want you to pay for an application and not quite make it. So you can also email me. If you do email me and ask me to check, that's fine, but I need a copy. I need to know what you're studying, what your GPA is, and if you've got a transcript, then we can look at that and we can ask the business school. So we can give you not a proper, you know, we can't tell you exactly, we can give you a indication of what the outcome would be.
So we have lots of
Oh, and also there's the question about the scholarships as well.
So we don't have a lot of scholarships, unfortunately, at Durham. We're not the most generous. However, there are some scholarships in the business school. All of these are don't require a separate application. So you don't need to apply to university and then apply to a scholarship. We do automatic consideration in the business school. So what we'll do is we'll look at all the offer holders, and then we'll kind of rank you on GPA, work experience, voluntary experience, your SOP. So make sure your SOP is very strong, and then we'll automatically offer you a scholarship if we can. The dates on when we offer really vary. Normally we try and do it within a month, but sometimes if we think you're good, but there are stronger students at first, we might keep you waiting to see if those students accept the scholarship or not. So some limited scholarships in the business school, yes.
Okay. All right, so we have students interested in TESOL, politics and IR. Okay, interested in the Durham Debating Union. Wow. We have management, marketing, management.
So we've got a huge mix. So that's fantastic to see. So as I said, all of our master's programs at Durham are normally 1 year. In terms of the modules that you would do for each of these, they're all on the website. So that's a really good place to look, as well as asking questions. The business school, as I said, there can be some similarities between some of the masters and the modules. So really drill down, look at the modules, look at the other opportunities there as well. International relations and politics, very popular. We would be looking for some kind of social sciences, humanities background in that one. The business one, important thing to note, we're not looking just for business students, so please don't be put off. We have students studying business that have come from music and history and even medicine and all sorts of things. So you don't need a business background for the business courses, but if you are looking at law or politics or international relations or any of those programs, then we're looking for a bit of a background. Doesn't always have to be a direct link, but again, if you're not sure if you've got an appropriate background, we can do kind of a pre-check to see what you would be appropriate for. Occasionally as well, if you don't meet the requirements for one of our most competitive programs, we might refer you over to another program. For example, you could apply for Msc Finance and not have quite the right background, so we might offer you Msc Management with finance, which is less finance focused. So we do look to refer students before we reject them. So where possible, we will try and find you a good fit. LLM, yeah, very popular. As I said, we have many LLM students from Thailand, either studying their first LLM or second, if you're looking to become a judge. And we've got very good relationships with the other universities as well. So some really good modules in there. Question there. I have A-levels in psychology and economics. I hope that's enough for political science.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we don't look at we look at your most recent qualification, really. So if you've just studied your degree, we won't be looking back at really your GCSEs. So don't worry about that too much. I would say I would need a bit more information, but looking at it, you probably would be okay to look at. So we don't, political science, I assume, do you mean, yeah, politics or international relations? Yeah, you probably would have a good profile, but can you email me more details? But yeah, we're not looking, you don't need IGCSEs or anything like that. We're just looking at your most recent qualifications. Kay's asking about specific qualifications. So no, as I said, we're just looking in the business school at your overall profile. So really, it's so hard to know whether you get a scholarship or not, because it depends on how strong that cohort is. So we will rank you against other students, and it's not just students from Thailand, it's students from all over the world. But if you've already got an offer for the course, then you've got the qualifications that we would be looking at already. So normally we'd be looking at maybe any work experience or extra projects or extra responsibility for scholarships.
We actually have a few interested in the master in business analytics. So I think it might be worthwhile to mention that this year it will be open in stage application.
Yes, it's stage applications again. And just double check the dates. We were speaking about this earlier. It is quite competitive. We've only been running it for a couple of years now, so there may be room for more students this year, but I'm going to double check that and I'll get back to you about that. But yes, it is relatively competitive, which means that we put it into rounds of students. So sometimes the frustrating thing can be that it may take a while to get an outcome. But the good news is if you haven't got an outcome, then you're still being considered. So unless you are told after a round that you're unsuccessful, you may still get a place. And the earlier you apply in the rounds, the better in terms of knowing whether you'll get an offer, and it increases your chance of an offer. I'm just posting the link in the group so you can see the dates. So the first round ends on the 15th of November. So if you know you want to apply for business analytics now, do your best to apply before that date. So the earlier the round, the better chance you've got. So at that point, after the round closes on the 13th of December, we should tell you whether you have an offer, whether you haven't got an offer, or you might be rolled into the next round. So if you're a really strong student, then we'll give you an offer. If you're strong, but there were stronger students, then we'll roll you into the next round. And if we know that you just didn't meet the requirements, then at that stage, you'll be rejected there. As I said, business analytics is competitive, so it might be that you might not be successful with business analytics, but you might be a fantastic student for one of our management programs. So if you apply for one thing at Durham and you're not successful, it doesn't mean that you're not a Durham student and you won't be a Durham student. It might just mean you haven't quite got the requirements for that program, and it is just a very specific program that we have there for analytics. We are looking for really strong analytical skills to have been evidenced in your undergraduate degree.
I think we actually got some few interested in MBA as well. This is
Yeah.
I noticed that there's a lot of students planning to apply for MBA this year at Durham.
Yes, MBA, again, is very popular. We have a 12-month program and a 15-month program. The difference is the 15-month program, at the end, you do a placement. So it does tend to be the 12-month that's very popular. We also have an online MBA, which we haven't had many Thai students on because I think you want to come and experience Durham, which is fantastic, but that's also an opportunity. The MBA is competitive again. So if you haven't got your 3 years work experience, I would recommend not applying. And I see students every year with 2 years or even a year who still try and apply, but it is competitive. You need a minimum of 3 years work experience at a good level as well. It has to be, high level responsibility. And, the staff at Mango know exactly kind of how competitive it is. So they'll advise you as well. So if they tell you that you might not quite be the best fit, they do know what they're talking about and they've experienced that a lot. So it's fantastic MBA course. We're very highly ranked in the MBA across the UK and across Europe as well. It's one of the strongest programs that you can get at a UK university. So we're looking at a minimum again of 3.0 GPA or above, depending on the university. If you have graduated years and years and years and years ago, then we put less focus on the GPA and we'll then start to focus on the work experience. You don't necessarily need the GMAT. I get a lot of questions about that. I mean, if you have it, tell us, but it's not a compulsory requirement. So don't feel like you just need to take it for Durham. The entry requirements, the English requirements are high as well, and it's a higher qualification that's needed to get onto the pre-sessional for the MBA as well. So it is a great program, but it is going to take a lot of commitment in order to obtain a place on that program. If you love the sound of the MBA, but you've only got a year work experience, or you've just come from the university, then I would recommend you look at our Msc Management Programmes, which are really good as well. I mean, I think people love the term MBA, but when you actually look into it, it might be that the Msc Management Programme is going to offer you everything you need. It's going to be the best fit. So please try not to just get focused on a title. It needs to be the best possible programme for you.
I'm not sure if there is any further question that you guys might have. This is a really great opportunity though, because, if you're planning to apply to Durham, because, September intake is already open for application. So it's a really good opportunity to, ask questions or, I don't know, anything that you want to know or you want to hear from, from Jasmine. This is a great opportunity for you. Actually, Jasmine, I think this is a great thing to point out about the careers team, because in Thailand we don't have much of that at Thai University. So this is something new for the Thai student, and I really I think it's worthwhile to mention or to address that, you know, there's a good opportunity for you to explore from the careers team as well.
Yeah, the careers team is fantastic. So you'll get a good careers team at any UK university. UK universities recently have become in the last few years, become very careers focused. So we care about the students coming in and going out. And that also, for a university, kind of helps with our reputation. So of course we want students that are going to go out and do the best things. Every university wants that. So we put a lot of funding and support into careers teams. We have a wider careers team that spans across the university, and we also have some department careers teams, such as the business school. So you'll get somebody that you can make appointments with, so they can help you with kind of high career goals like graduation, but even something really simple. So it might be, you know, you can work 20 hours a week on your tier 4 visa. You might see an advert come up. It might just be, you know, local restaurant, and they're like, right, let's help you with your CV, ask you a few questions and get you feeling like you're ready for the role, you're ready to go out and do it. So it could be something just like that. You know, it might not seem like a big deal for you, but the careers team is a part of the degree that you, or masters that you're already paying for, that you're already undertaking. So you may as well just go and talk to them and see what advice they can give you. They can then help with the longer term goals. So they can get you connected, they can get you networking. They also do careers fairs. So they'll bring all the big careers companies onto campus. So we have huge companies that come on. So the big 4 are all kind of based around the Newcastle area. They'll come in, PwC, Deloitte, Ernst & Young. We've had Google have come to see us, Apple, so some really big names. And they'll get you networking with them. You can talk to them really openly about your own careers, and they might even give you contacts. They might give you advice. So the careers team really get you that network going. We're also doing a lot internationally. We have an international advisors in the careers teams. So what they're starting to look at is careers back in your home country. So they're starting to identify, you know, companies in Thailand that might be good to connect with. They're starting to get that network going. So it's a huge thing in all UK universities, but Durham specifically is very strong at that. As I said, this is all included in your master's programme. All of these kind of one-to-one appointments, careers fairs, and it really just means that you're the best prepared that you can be to go out and get a job.
We actually have some specific question about the background of, let's say, coding or programming requirements for business analytics.
So for that one, if you don't mind, if you could send me your, if you're specifically thinking, have I got the right background, if you can email me your transcript and I can pass it on to the team, because it is going to vary depending on what university you went to, what degree you've done, what modules you've done. So we could do kind of a pre-check with that one as well, if you don't mind. Any like that, if you just let me know specifically and I'll have a look. Oh, Amy, good question. The average year of work experience shifts every year, depending on what students we've got. So I've seen students come through, you know, with 30 years as opposed to students with 3 years. So it really varies. We don't put a certain amount of years on it. I mean, the minimum is 3 years. So we won't really look at your application prior to 3 years. But after that, it really depends on the year of entry. It doesn't always mean if someone's got more work experience, it's better work experience. Some students might have 3 years, but it's quite high level. It's very entrepreneurial. It's what we're looking at. Some people might have 20 years, but they might have spent 10 years not doing anything in a high responsibility. So quality rather than quantity. So don't worry too much about that. But as I said, please don't apply for it if it's under 3 years, because the level of competition will just mean you won't get an offer. If it means that you haven't quite got it, then wait a year, get more work experience, or look at the management programs. There's some really good opportunities in there that are sometimes overlooked. But you're still working with the same companies, you're still working with the same careers team, you're still in the same university, so you still are going to have a really good experience.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the class profile for this year has been finalized or not, but I reckon that a year before, the average year of work experience would be 8 to 10 years. Yeah, I think that's
high.
Yeah.
So once I've got the new one finalized, we'll let you know. As I was saying earlier to and Nat, we don't actually get the final numbers till kind of early November, as we have different enrollment dates. But I can definitely let you know. But 8 to 10 years sounds very plausible. But saying that, we'll have students that have done 3 years on the program as well. And what we're looking for diversity. So we look for diversity across countries, but also across work experience. So we don't want to just take everyone with 20 years work experience from the same company. The whole point of the MBA is you're meant to learn from each other, you're meant to broaden your horizon, get a network of people from all over the world. So you'll come away and you'll know people from like Spain or China or anywhere, and you've got a huge network and all different experiences. So actually having the same profile isn't something we look for. We want variation. That's really important to us.
That's a specific question. Another one for the business analytics.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, please can you send me your transcripts? Potentially, if you've done engineering, then obviously you will have some analytics in terms of not coding, but you will have skills within that. So yeah, we can definitely look at that. That's an interesting one in terms of what we'd be looking for. But yeah, please email me and I can send it on to the team and they'll give you a kind of an overview on whether they'd look to offer a place or not.
Actually, I've got your documents already. น้องเผาเดี๋ยวพี่ส่งให้ค่ะ
And you're currently working in e-commerce as well, so you might not have the formal work experience, but academic experience, but we may be able to look at work experience as well.
Okay. Any other question before we close the call?
Thank you. I'll just put my email address in the chat again. So if you have got, any questions like that, I can pass you on to business school or the law school. If you want to specifically talk to a member in those teams as well, we can arrange that for you.
So I guess before we end the session, just one last recommendation for you then, about their applications, or it could be anything.
So I would say, if you're not ready to apply yet, don't worry. We're still very early in the cycle. We normally start welcoming applications within the next few weeks. The earlier you apply, if you are ready, don't hesitate, because the earlier you apply, you might be in earlier round for certain things. You might hear back quicker. We do rolling admissions. We don't sit on a date really and then wait to offer. If you're not ready to apply, that's fine. You've got plenty of time, but really start gathering your transcripts, your references. We have so many students that say, I asked for a reference yesterday, I haven't got it. You need to give your academic members of staff time to do that. So start doing that. English, start practicing your IELTS if you haven't done it. You don't need to apply with IELTS, so you can apply now and you can add in your IELTS later on. So we'll keep that window open for you. But please don't wait until, summer and then think, I've never done IELTS and I don't know, I need to practice. So the earlier the better, and it's valid for 2 years. So if you can do it now and you get the right score, brilliant. We're not going to make you do it again. So preparation is my top tip. So whether that means writing your statement of purpose now or doing whatever you need to do, don't let it be rushed. Statement of purpose, you should be writing it, we would say, probably about 3 times, 3 different drafts in order to get the strongest one. Academics is key though, so we're looking at that first and foremost. So yeah, it's preparation. If you're ready, don't delay. If you're not ready, don't worry, but start preparing, gathering all that information, and don't be afraid to ask questions. If you are sat there thinking, I don't know what something means on the website. It might be something makes you think that's really silly and I don't want the university to know. If you ask me, no one else is going to know. I don't look at your application. I'm just here to talk to you. So anything like that, just ask, and that's the best way.
Thank you. That's really great advice.
Thank you. And I'll ask the girls at Mango are amazing. They know Durham so well. Sometimes they know it better than me at times. So don't be afraid to take their advice. They know so well. They know what they're doing. They bring lots of students to us every year. So make sure you follow their advice as well.